We're going to talk about measuring today by drawing a picture of this loading dock. When we measure in real life, we hold a pencil or some kind of stick out in front of us like this, and we can use this to compare distances. Your elbow has to be locked, and you close one eye, and you can measure, for example, the height of the back wall of the loading dock like this, and compare it to the width. So the width is going to be about, if this is 1 unit, and then we go over, it's about twice the height. So let's go ahead and draw that. We are going to start with this back wall, and we're going to draw it twice as wide as it is tall, about like that. Let me make myself a little smaller here. Having done that, we can also measure our drawing the same way, measure the height, make sure that it is about twice as wide as it is tall, and I'm a little off, so make a little adjustment. And remeasure height. Usually I like to keep my thumb at the bottom of the thing I'm measuring, put the stick at the top, and there's 1 unit and 2 units. So that's what looks like about the right proportions for that wall. Now we're going to draw the door. Measuring the same way, I can tell that the door is about 1/3 of the way, the edge of the door is about 1/3 of the way over the wall left to right, and this is about 1/5 or 1/6 of the way down. So sketch the door. And you can draw the line goes down the middle between the 2 sides of the door. It's a little bit to the right of center. You can draw the door handle, which is a little below center. And that's what the back wall looks like. Leave a little gap between this edge of the door and the corner of the wall. Everyone's drawing up till now would be the same no matter where you were positioned, but from here on we're going to need to work based on a determination of the vanishing point. And the way we find the vanishing point is, if we're outside, we can estimate the point that's right across from where we're sitting. And if we're looking at a photograph, we can do it this way by simply extending some of the orthogonals. So that would look like this. You get my straight line tool. You can do this with a ruler. Any straight edge, you extend an orthogonal like that. You could extend a second orthogonal like that. And you could check your work with a third orthogonal like this. And make sure that these are all ending up in the same general point. So my vanishing point should be right about here. Notice that the distance between the width of the door, this between the edge of the door and the vanishing point is a little less than the width of the door. And the height of the vanishing point is just underneath the door handle. So we can go across just under the level of the door handle and go a little less than the width of the door. Vanishing point should be right there. Now we can use that point. You can use a straight edge or you can freehand it and use this to create orthogonals. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Like that. And now we're going to measure the foreshortened distance of the ceiling. So we're going to use the stick again, and what we want to find out is, hang on, we want to compare this distance here, that's this foreshortened width of the ceiling, and we want to compare that to the height of the wall. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4 and a half. So that distance is a little less than a quarter of the height of the ceiling. Let me do this again. Notice that what I'm doing is moving my thumb to the back of the ceiling, front of the stick, top of the stick is at the front of the ceiling. And then every time I move my hand down, I'm looking for a little landmark where my thumb is, and I'm moving the top of the stick to that landmark. 2, 3, 4, almost 5. So that means this distance here should be about 1/5 of this overall distance, and you didn't see that, just a second. So this distance here is about 1/5 of this distance. And so I can draw it by eye, and then I can check my work again with the stick. There's my unit. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that was maybe just a little bit wide. So I'm just going to take this down a tiny bit, and that should get me to about 1/5. Once I measure that foreshortened distance, I don't really need to measure this one, because I find where this hits the orthogonal and comes straight down. And likewise, this one comes straight down. And this one, I just go straight across. And that's the basic shape that we're seeing of the visible part of the loading dock. And now we can add details. You can notice that this section, if we go about to the middle of this door and straight down, we find a point right here that serves as the root of another orthogonal. Comes out towards us a little like that. This goes across. There's extension of this orthogonal, a vertical, another vertical, and then another orthogonal. And that's how you build the block that the stairs are on. There are 3.5 stairs going down, 4 if you include the top. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So the stairs look about like that, with short orthogonals showing along the top of each stair, all aiming for the vanishing point. The railing, footprint for the railing, there's one here and there's one here, so I can go straight up here to slightly above the height of the doorknob, and then down towards my vanishing point. And there's the other railing there, and then this is going to be a horizontal like that. There's another pipe going through the middle here, which is also an orthogonal. This is also horizontal. This is a vertical. And over here at the front of the loading dock, and notice that if we were to sketch interior elements like the shelves, we could start by drawing the poles that are up against the wall, understanding that this one is on an orthogonal with the one that's behind it. And then we could draw horizontals. And another vertical pole, the same as the first one. And then an orthogonal for the shelf. Orthogonal for the tops of these poles. And the shelves are all going to be orthogonals. Notice that the bottom shelves are below our eye level, and the top ones are above eye level, like that. So that's the basic structure of the loading dock. I'm going to leave this picture up for the end of the video so you can pause the video and add more details to your drawing. Notice that the really big lesson here has to do with vanishing point. There's only one position of the camera that takes this picture. The camera has to be in exactly in front of the point that we determined to be the vanishing point, right about here. If the camera's to the left over here, if you slide over a little, the vanishing point moves over. If you sit down on the ground, the vanishing point moves down, and there's a perfect correspondence between the point of view and the vanishing point. Please complete this sketch. If you can find other details to add, like the bricks on the wall that use the principle of the vanishing point, please do so if you have time. Thanks a lot.